Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I have another update for you guys. So we're almost at $25,000. We're at 24,939. So be almost hitting that milestone. So if the market moves up a little bit, or I just make a couple more deposits, we should get there. And I have two accounts. So I have an RRSP where I only hold American stocks, and that's up 10% or up 123.59. And I have a TFSA which is up 545.07 or up 2.36%. And this is the portfolio I'm going to be talking about since this is where I made my buy since the previous update. And the TFSA, we're at 23,593. So the past 3 months have been pretty good for us. We're up 7% in that time, and all time we're up 2%. So the first update is concerning Apple. So Apple has actually just announced their new product, their new AR/VR headset. They're calling it the Vision Pro. So, this one's been rumored about for years, and it's finally here. And you can get it for the low price of 3,500 US. And now I don't think this product is really for the mass market, but what I do think is that it does have some potential. And the fact is that I think that Apple is simply going to be selling this to developers mainly to create a platform for what they call spatial computing. So rather than using like a phone screen or like a monitor and keyboard setup or a laptop, you can just use a headset to replace those devices and operate them with your face, your hands, and vocal commands. The feature that I find the most personally interesting is the fact that you can just watch a 100-inch screen in front of you no matter where you are. That's an incredible feature. And the other feature that is quite good is that you can, look at your phone, look at your, what you're doing on a laptop, see what your watch is doing. You can multitask, you can replace multi-monitor setups with the Apple Vision Pro, and that is another thing that's going to lock people into the Apple ecosystem. So at Apple, trading at the current price, I'm not adding. I think it's fairly priced, maybe slightly overvalued. I'm not going to be adding at this point, but I'm also not going to sell because I don't think it's extremely overvalued, and I'm just not interested in trading Apple. I think it's just a keeper for the long term, just a solid company, very well managed, very good moat, and I'm going to keep it. So the buy I made was ATD, so I purchased 2 more shares of this since it had a little bit of a dip. So it was in the higher 60s, now it's dipped below 65, which I think is a fair price. So I decided to get 2 shares of it and pay a fair price for a great business. And, they've been doing everything right for many, many years. They're growing their revenues, they're growing their free cash flows, they're buying back shares, they're raising the dividend at a very, very high rate. All things I really, really like, and they have growth potential all across the world since they have convenience stores all over the world. And it's an interesting way to play on the EV space as well, since they are converting a lot of the gas stations they have into charging stations. So it's got a very, very bright future. Very happy to add more to my portfolio because I don't have enough consumer defensive. So if this is going to trade at a fair price or even dip into a lower price, that'd be even more ideal. I would love for this to drop so I could buy a whole bunch more. But, ATD doesn't drop too often, so I have to buy it whenever it presents like a fair price. At least in my opinion, it's just a very high quality company. I also purchased 1 more share of Aritzia, so this dipped a little bit below my average. I thought, why not? Let's just add another one. This one I think is pretty undervalued. I think it's worth about $50, so I see a bit of upside in the short-term stock price, but also in the long term because I'm interested to see where this company is 5-10 years from now, because they're opening so many stores in the United States. They're growing very quickly, and their online presence is growing every single year at a very, very good rate. So this business has a lot of potential to be much larger than it is today. So I'm very excited to hold it, and we'll see how it goes. I also purchased some more Granite REITs. So we bought about 38% of a share. So I'm just doing fractional buys with whatever I have left over, and I'm even going to be reinvesting some of my dividend income that I received. So, I received like $3 from Microsoft, so I just put that into Granite REIT just to keep growing this position because I recently restarted this about a month ago. Very excited to just keep adding to this and growing this position. This is a very high quality industrial real estate player that has warehouses in US, Canada, and Europe. So they have a lot of room to grow. And if they do very, very well, it is possible that they're acquired by a bigger company. So we'll see if that happens. I also received my dividend from HYLD. So with that money, I purchased 2 more shares. So went from 204 to 206. And that's going to add about 24 cents to my monthly dividend income, which is awesome. So this is just an income fund. I'm going to keep dripping this while it is in the negative for me. And then once it breaks even, or maybe it even climbs, I'd be interested in taking those dividends and then putting it into the best opportunity that I see. I'm not doing that yet just because I think it's still trading at a great price. It's giving me almost 11% yield. Well, a little bit over 11% yield on my money. So we'll just keep it up for now. And then when it recovers, we'll invest the dividends into something else because this one really dominates my portfolio's income percentage. So this gives me about like nearly 30% of my dividend income. I find that to be a little bit high. So I kind of want to diversify a little bit away and not be so reliant on one stock, even though it's a fund that holds many, many stocks. I just don't want to have one holding just overwhelmingly make up the majority of my dividend income. I also purchased 1 more share of Smart Centers. So this one dipped into the low 25s. It's giving an over, I think around 7% yield. So I decided to grab another one of these, and I'm using my Smart Center dividends to build up my Granite REIT since that's a newer position, and I want to kind of have an even split of both. But Smart Centers, if it's going to present me a 10% dip or greater, then and I can lock up over 7% of my money, it's hard to pass that up, especially since they pay me every single month. And their largest tenant is Walmart, and Walmart's doing very, very well. I look at their earnings reports since Smart Centers, that's their big tenant. So as long as the big tenant of Smart Centers can continue paying rent, then I'm confident in Smart Centers going forward. And for TELUS, I just bought 1 more share, going up to 65 since it had quite a dip, almost down 9% for me. So we're just going to lock up a pretty high yield for TELUS. Historically, it's a pretty high yield for TELUS, so not a bad time to add. And I'm going to add maybe another share if it stays at these prices or even goes lower, along with the 4 shares a month that I'm planning to buy until the end of 2023. Last month, I bought 8 shares of it just because I like the 5% dip, but it dipped even more. So I'll hold off for now, and I'll probably just buy the next 4 shares in July. So hopefully the price stays down for the rest of the year, since I'm planning to really focus on this one and get it to drip itself. So, I can just reinvest the dividend and buy a full share of it. Right now, I'm getting a little bit over $23 per quarter from this company. So I can almost buy a full share about 93% at the current price. So we're very close to that goal already. And we can see Tesla has had incredible gains in the portfolio, my best performing stock. And it's partly the momentum that every technology company in the S&P 500 is experiencing because of NVIDIA, the excitement about AI. And if you've watched the whole video, thank you so much. And please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel so you never miss one of my updates. So whenever I buy a stock, I sell a stock, I do let you guys know. So I operate the channel with full transparency, and you can see all of my moves and my reasoning for them, so you can maybe learn something from it, learn from my successes, learn from my failures, and become a better investor, maybe continue to invest, or just be inspired to start investing for yourself. And remember that any stock I buy or sell, it fits my investment goals, and I don't know what yours are, what your risk tolerances are. That's why it's called personal finance, because it's personal. So just make sure that anything you invest in, you're comfortable with the risks and the reward, everything. So dividends earned all time is $14.7579. And annually from the last update, we were earning 1059.75, and now I'm earning 1068.76. So nice, almost $10 gain from the past update. The monthly average has gone up from 88.31 to 89.06 per month. The weekly average from 20.38 to 20.55. Daily, we're earning an extra 3 cents a day, so 2.93 instead of 2.90. So we're getting very, very close, just 7 cents per day, and I will hit my big goal of hitting $3 a day in dividends, and then I'm going to make my next goal $4 a day. So these are going to be happening quicker and quicker as I'm depositing money, and my dividend income is larger. This is going to start snowballing, so we need more dividend raises, of course, from our companies, but we're just going to be doing this slowly and consistently over a long period of time, and I'm not expecting results overnight. And then the months to earn $100 has decreased yet again from 1.13 months to 1.12, and the hourly wage, if my portfolio were to work a 40-hour job for me, it would be earning 51 cents an hour. So no change there, but we're going to keep giving the portfolio more and more ammunition as I continue to deposit, reinvest dividends, and find the best opportunity when they come. We're going to increase this, and a really cool goal would be to get this hourly wage to the first dollar, and then maybe someday get it to a point where it's earning a minimum wage 40-hour week job for me passively, which would be awesome, of course. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.